Hello, adventurer. It's good to see you. You have made it to the morning grind.
Welcome, welcome.
It's the live stream at the beginning of the Geekverse, where we talk about all types of topics in geekdom, gaming, and fantasy, with an emphasis on being constructive and creating the things that we want to exist in the world.
It's all on the grind, Sizemore. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
That's exactly right. There are a lot of adventures to be had today. Dungeons to explore and monsters to slay, and who knows what a random encounter might send our way. That's why we have to prepare, so settle in now for the morning grind with your favorite beverage in hand.
Tea? Or maybe something a little stronger. I've got a few bottles of the old Wynyard left.
Whatever you want. Pull up a chair.
Dude.
If you're feeling fancy, how about a cappuccino? Or a frappuccino? Or how about an espresso?
Just tea, thank you.
Sounds good to me, Gandalf. Whatever you want. I'm just glad you're here.
Everyone is welcome. You can just watch if you want. You don't have to worship anything you don't want to worship.
Thank you, Mike. But be forewarned.
Sometimes we get really strange characters around here.
Wait, what's that you say? Why can't you come and be a part of the stream?
My wife would disown me.
Oh no, I bet she'll be fine with it. Come on in.
Am I scared for my safety? No.
What are we supposed to do?
Everybody do the secret handshake.
Secret cultist handshake.
Oh, now do wizards who love each other.
This, my friend, is a science.
I still don't have kids, but it's fine.
It's all on the grind, son. Can't be too fine, can't be too coarse.
Dude, this would be a sick place to bring the band.
Indeed it would be, Dave. It really would. I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Oh, look, here's someone new.
Is this the cultist meetup?
Yes it is.
Come to hang out? Please accept me. I have nothing else.
Okay, we accept you. Everyone's welcome here.
Brought some snacks.
Well, that makes things even better.
You want some coffee? I don't drink coffee. You sure?
It's cultist coffee.
What makes it cultist coffee?
I'm a cultist and I'm drinking it.
Oh. Then I'll have some.
What exactly is going on here?
I'm seeing more people coming in. Welcome. It's so great to have you. Oh, and look, here comes another stranger.
Can we help you?
Yes, fellow cultists. I could really use some food.
Oh yeah? Welcome. We have donuts.
Oh, it's me. I'm glad I'm here. I'm sure you have a few questions for me, though.
What's your name? Who do you work for? What god do you worship?
Great questions, Rob.
I'm Steve King, and I worship Nyarlathotep.
No, not really. I'm just Heath, and I won't be worshiping anything this morning. But I will be your host. Welcome to the office. We're going to have a great time. I've got my coffee ready, because now it's time for the morning grind.
If you could become a fish, that would be amazing. Then I could command you with my mental fish powers.
Hello, well, how about there? Hello, everyone. Good morning. Good to see everybody. I hope you're having a good morning. I am still trying to put myself together here. Welcome to the office. Welcome to my home. Welcome to the morning grind. I did get my coffee this morning, but man, let's see. Yesterday afternoon, Bri and I worked. I said, this whole place is a mess. This whole house is a mess. Like a real mess. I've got to clean up. Stuff is accumulating here on my desk again. I have stuff all over the place. Brianna and I charged and did a whole bunch of work yesterday afternoon, working on Table Talk, and then also trying to plan the future for through February. I've got a meeting on Monday that's going to be very important. I got other things to start now that the Trial of St. Gabriel is finished. The Kickstarter anyway, so I'll be sending out the surveys and things like that to get out the books. I'm still waiting on the proof for that to come through, but Brianna and I were tearing into things yesterday. I'll show you one of the things that we were working on. And then let's see. Oh, look, let's see who we got here. We got Josiah Firesnake. Welcome. So good to see you live this morning. So good to see you live. So we worked. Then I went out and ate tacos yesterday. And then when I came back, I went to a writer's workshop, an online writer's workshop. And I was thinking that I was just supposed to listen in. I was just going to listen in on this one because it was my first time. So I was at a writer's workshop last night that was supposed to last 4 hours. And I thought, well, since I'm just listening in, I can, do some work while I'm listening. But it ended up being so interesting, really fantastic. This was with Drake. And ended up taking a whole bunch of notes and listening and getting in on some of the critique of other people's writing. Very, very interesting and very, very useful yesterday. For the past year, which is a lot of things that we talk about on Table Talk. That was the study of story structure. We've been doing a lot of that on Table Talk, story structure, plotting, all of that. This was really about, bring 800 words. And now, can we be sure that these 800 words are the best words they can possibly be? And so that was intense. And actually, it went for more like 5 hours rather than 4. So it was a real late night last night. And then I crashed and then basically just woke up to do this show. So let's see. Yes, this is actually the beginning of the stream. Good morning, Andrew. Good morning. And then I couldn't get my for some reason, Illustrator wasn't open this morning. So we got no thumbnail this morning, but hey, whatever. Good morning, Heat Shield. Good morning. So let's see. We need to toast then to Heat Shield and Josiah, because I know Josiah is often in the comment section after the live stream. But we've got Josiah here in the stream this morning and also Heat Shield. So here is to both of you guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, Nathaniel. Good morning. And also Sable Phoenix and Zero the Blade and Robert. Good morning. Good morning. Let's see. Tonight, let me bring up. What we've got over here. So tonight, over on the Table Talk podcast live stream, I put podcast over here, but I think it was just the show, the Table Talk show. Tonight, by request, everybody, Ian Runkle from Roll of Law is going to be here. 7 o'clock tonight. I'm going to give you the direct link. That way you can click the notify me. Ian Runkle. Good morning, James. Good morning. I was just talking about being at Drake's writing workshop last night. It was really good. Roll of Law. Tonight, 7 o'clock. Come with questions. So he will be on there tonight. Let's see. On Sunday, our Star Trek 1 discussion will repost, and then we're going to be doing Star Trek 3 next Tuesday. I really need to have a productive next few days. The only thing that's really on my to-do list that's an appointment is tonight's discussion with Ian Runkle. So this afternoon, I'm going to try to just be real productive and clean, then have our discussion, and then try to be productive over all weekend. Good morning, Brent. So we were just talking about that. So Star Trek 3, if you haven't seen Star Trek 3 coming up. Let's see. One of the things that we did yesterday, let me see if this plays. Looking on different ways to promote different things.
As a fellow side-shaved masculine lesbian, it's about change.
So we did make this. One of the things that while Brianna was working on thumbnails yesterday, I made a video for us. Let me know what you think about this. I think this will be a fun way to start promoting different things that are going on Table Talk, maybe over here as well, but especially Table Talk. I was trying to think of new ways to promote the different kinds of discussions that we have on Table Talk. I'm thinking about grouping our discussions into different series. And so this one is a bit weird because it's just the Arcane discussion. And right now we just have one discussion on Arcane, though we could have more. Did anybody watch the trailer over there I put out yesterday? Good morning, BGD. Good morning. So let me see. Let me put up this trailer. I'm proud of this. Let me know what you think about this trailer. If you like Arcane, I'm thinking that if you saw this trailer, you'd want to watch more of our discussion. So let me remove this.
Side-shaved masculine.
So here is here is the trailer. Here we go.
As a fellow side-shaved masculine lesbian with anger problems, I really connect with Vi.
Just absolutely admired everything about this show.
And I remember being obsessed with this when it came out. It just pumps you up. It's about change.
Specifically, violent change.
Do you love Arcane and want to geek out about it? Join us for a deep dive. We'll talk about the fighting.
She got her ass kicked, but she won that one. And guess what? That's how you win a fight.
I just feel like on so many levels, the fights just work.
Even her name, Violet, is almost a play off the word violence.
Of course, there is a lot of action and fighting and violence. When that happens, it's significant.
So all the fights move things forward.
The theme and the story's meaning. There's a monster inside all of us. Question is, can a monster be saved?
What do you hold sacred under these conditions? Every character's trying to hold on to something.
The violence.
Literally fighting people bigger than her. That's like, that would never happen. It's because she has magic to help her in those moments. Right.
She has a tattoo of a Roman numeral 6. The 6th commandment is, thou shalt not kill.
The characters and their characterization.
Jinx is the dark manifestation of randomness. Remember, a lot of heroines trust the chaos of nature.
There's this really annoying sexist trope that happens where it's like, oh, we want to make our female characters cool and badass and they're gonna fight, but we gotta protect them and don't let them actually get hurt. It's like they're fucking warriors. Do one or the other. But it's really cool to see how this show doesn't fall into stereotypes.
What else is in this show?
So you have a pretty, somewhat objectified sex worker. There's a pretty girl in a shower scene with a manic pixie dream girl with blue hair.
Oh, those all sound like fun.
Another cliche has to do with sapphic romances.
Click the link below to go straight to the Arcane playlist and start watching now. You can even join us later when we're live. Let's talk Arcane. It's time for Table Talk. So that was a lot of work. It was a lot of work to make. So I can't do that for like every discussion, but I thought that was, we had this idea to make a trailer for the discussion. I mean, it was a long discussion anyway. We had this trailer. I really like that trailer. I'm pretty proud of it. It was a lot of work. And I think we do need to do another Arcane discussion, especially since we now have that trailer. But in the future, I'm thinking about doing some other trailers for our discussions that is a series. So like, I think I could do a trailer like that for all of our Star Trek discussions. Because like the Star Trek discussions that Doug and I have been fantastic. And I mean, there's a lot of material on Star Trek, you know, all the movies and things. So I think we need I think the Star Trek discussion is worth a trailer for sure. There might be enough material to do a Star Wars trailer and maybe even a Heroine's Labyrinth trailer. And so I'm thinking about how we theme all the different shows on Table Talk, and obviously a Dungeons and Dragons one too. There's enough probably material, or there will be soon, to group some of the shows into a Dungeons and Dragons and role playing guests and things like that, and make a new trailer for that. So I think that might be a really neat way to get the word out about Table Talk. So I'm glad you guys liked it. I see the Brent does. And Zero Blade's also commenting on the clips, and I really appreciate that too. That helps the algorithm and all of that. Sable says it's a great trailer. It's a great trailer, but it did highlight what I thought were some of the least interesting aspects of the conversation, to be honest. But that's partly because Arcane is so layered that you could talk about it for years without getting to the bottom of it. Well, hopefully it's high energy that if people see that who like Arcane will want to come in and watch. What other is there anything else I need to bring up right now? I don't think so. Actually, I'm already down here with the coffee. Yeah, that's what I was just trying to get to. If you saw that, would you want to go watch the conversation that we had? Oh, you binged Arcane before the Table Talk? Now, I basically did too. I'm going to watch it again if we talk about it again, because I was a newcomer to it. It was predominantly Brianna and Doug who were talking, because I had just basically experienced it for the first time. All right, so let's go to our sacrament this morning. Then I'm gonna be looking at the Fate RPG. There were a few other Fate Toolkit. There were a few other things I wanted to talk about in the Fate Toolkit. We'll do an unboxing of the Spirit Queen's Torment, maybe tomorrow, but I got sitting here on the desk, so we'll do that soon. I just didn't feel like doing an unboxing today, so we'll get back to the Spirit Queen's Torment and Hero Quest soon. And then I've got a few other things I got to do, but I want to bring out a game soon. So we're going to be talking about game development soon as well. Yeah, right. Yes. See, I'm really proud of it. Thank you. I'm glad you guys caught up on that. Caught this. Sable Phoenix says, especially the cut from Brianna talking about change. And then, I mean, one of the reasons that took so long to get together, and the snap right to Doug saying specifically violent change. One of the reasons that took so long to get together was because I had to go find a bunch of conversational clips to potentially put in the show. So, I mean, that was one of the most time-consuming part, or put in the trailer. Going and finding all those clips, all those quotes was time-consuming. So hopefully it pays off. And hopefully it'll pay off even more if I do one for like a series of stuff. Zero the Blade says, and there are also points of interest if you really knew what the Easter egg point of it was. That beat really works. Totally fantastic editing right there. Thank you. There's so much to cover. I'm a first timer too, and while I watched closely, it's so dense, there's a lot to miss. Yeah, hey, I'm going to go refresh my coffee right before we have our breath and our reading, and then we'll go take a look at this Fate book. So early hug break. Just 1 second.
Oh, it's time for a Yeti hug break. Yeti hug break. Yeti hug break. Everybody go hug yo Yeti and show yo Yeti some love.
All right. Oh, shut this door. All right. All right. Let's breathe and sip. Let's breathe and sip, and then we'll talk about addicted to failure. So here we go. Hey, good morning, Charlie. Good morning. All right. Let's breathe and sip. 2 deep breaths, complete inhales, complete exhales, and then we'll take a sip of our beverage. So here we go. I got fresh ground coffee again this morning. Here we go. And sip. One more. All right, there we go. So this is Turning Pro by Stephen Pressfield. Addicted to failure. There's a difference between failing, which is a natural and normal part of life, and being addicted to failure. When we're addicted to failure, we enjoy it. Each time we fail, we are secretly relieved. There's a glamour to failure that's been mined for centuries by starving poets, romantic suicides, and other self-defined doomed souls. This glamour inverts failure and turns it into success. I've had a romance with this goddess myself. Have you? The lure of failure can be as intoxicating as the hardest of hardcore narcotics. Its payoff is incapacity. If we fail, we are off the hook. We have given ourselves a get-out-of-jail-free card. We no longer have to ask and answer Stanislav's famous 3 questions. Who am I? Why am I here? What do I want? Let's go a little bit further. Let's do these 2 pages. Addicted to sex. If addictions and shadow careers are metaphors, sex is the richest one of all and the most difficult to decode. Why are we obsessed with sex? Does sex represent conquest or surrender? Are we seeking the oblivion of orgasm or the transcendence of escaping the ego? It is union with our goal. Is union with another our goal, or are we seeking to dominate and humiliate our partner? Is sex about love? Are we seeking a soulmate, a mother, father? Are we trying to reach God? I don't see what all the fuss about sex is, said the comedian. It's only friction. My own theory is that the obsessive pursuit of sex is an attempt to obliterate the ego, i.e. normal consciousness, the mind monkey that tortures us with restlessness, fear, and anger, and self-centeredness. We're trying to get to the level about that. We're trying to get to the level above that. The entity we're seeking union with is ourselves. We're trying to connect with one true being, our soul, ourself. Oh, addicted to distraction. Let's see what this is short. Yes, and distraction is so easy in today's world. Resistance hates 2 qualities above all others, concentration and depth. Why? Because we work with focus and we work deep when we succeed. Because when we work with focus and we work deep, we succeed. How did Tom Brady master the art of the forward pass? How did Picasso paint? How did Yo-Yo Ma learn the cello? Resistance wants to keep us shallow and unfocused. So true, so true. So it makes the superficial and the vain intoxicating. Have you checked your email in the last half hour? When you sit down to do your work, do you leave your web connection on? It can be fatal, keeping up with the Kardashians. Oh, no, the Kardashians. Oh, no, God, I always reverse those two when I see them. Keeping up with the Kardashians. You know, I was thinking about that. Let's see. The distraction stuff yesterday. I think that was in with the Drake stuff. He was talking about distraction. There's some kind of course there that's in his stuff about like turning off for 30 days, like everything. And what I learned from that. And I want to go through that because I mean, I thought about like, man, it would be great. I mean, the reason I have this house, what it's supposed to do is to allow me to be able to get my writing done. Surely somebody has done a spoof like that, keeping up with the Kardashians. I mean, surely somebody has spoofed that. If they haven't, they should. But man, everything, like the live streams and things like that, I mean, just everything is online. I mean, I don't even know if it's like, even if I went in and said, you know what, I'm completely unplugging my internet in there. Maybe I should do that this afternoon until tonight's discussion with Ian. Maybe I should try that. Let's see. All right, let's go take a look at this. Well, see, I can't imagine what a Star Trek 6 Table Talk trailer would look like. See, I don't think I can do it for just Star Trek 6. I think I need, I think I would have to do a trailer for the entire Star Trek series because those trailers that trailer took too long. We were just talking about Arcane because it was so popular and people like it. So I went ahead and said, all right, let me see if I can do a trailer for our show. What could I come up with? But that kind of spawned the idea of grouping all of our shows into different series and then perhaps doing a trailer for each series. Hey, good morning, TSL Frontman. Oh, they do have a shirt. Okay, posted in Discord. All right. Addiction is tricky. If you can gut it out, great, but no harm in getting help. Oh, yes, that's true. Yes. And of course, he's talking about in this both like chemical dependencies and things that fall short of chemical dependencies. All right, let me take this down and bring up our Fate horror. Is there a topic in here that you really want to? But on the other hand, like looking through all of our Star Trek material, is a lot. But it's a lot to have to clip. I mean, the clipping is being done manually. I haven't come up with a way to automate the clipping. There's a way to automate making shorts, and I haven't made shorts in a while. But I haven't found a good way to automate the making of like the 8 to 12 minute clips. But once I make the clips, that makes it easier to find the quotes. So we'll see. I got other things I need to focus on next, but most directly, but I'm going to come back to the trailer idea. So let's see. If there's one of these that you guys really want to look at, I'm interested in the spooky fun. I do want to see what they say about spooky fun down here. But let's see. We were taking a look at Some Scars Are Invisible. We did chapter 1, and then Some Scars Are Invisible, chapter 3. Chapter 4 is Who's Who Among the Damned, Making Monster, The Flesh is Weak, and Ideas, Regimes, and Holy Alien Adversaries. Oh, how about We Are All Going to Die? Oh, Josiah says, I don't even like Star Trek, but I find those Star Trek discussions entertaining. Oh, well, excellent. That's extra good. All right, let's take a look at We Are All Going to Die. Chapter 5. This is in our theme with 10 Candles. Chapter 5. We're all going to die. Tools for running games where doom is inevitable. Or Cthulhu, I guess. Not every story has a happy ending. Horror fiction is often tragic. Even if it looks like things look like they've ended well for the characters, there's often a final twist or sting in the tale that cast the finale in a different light. In a horror game, the PCs won't always win. Hell, they may not even survive. Risk and uncertainty are vital parts of the horror experience, and the odds of emerging at the end of a story unscathed are vanishingly small. But some horror stories take things further than that. The protagonists are doomed from the start, and nobody is under any illusion that there might be a happy ending. This chapter provides tools for evoking doomed horror in your games in a way that your players will enjoy rather than resent. Media inspiration. These are a few of the sources that inspired us when we were writing this chapter. Swift to Chase. Some of these, I don't know. You know, these: Swift to Chase, Spider, Devil's Pass, The Nightmare Factory, The Bridge, The Mist. Actually, I don't know any of those. The Nightmare Factory, it does says, by Thomas Ligorati, is the most doomed artists and scholars since Lovecraft. You know, God, so much writing to do. About after last night at the writers' circle meeting, that's really good, because that could be weekly or even more. Like when I used to go to conventions or like academic conferences, I would feel like, oh my God, I'm not getting any work done. I got to go get work done. So I feel like when the writing and the games, and man, I'm just not getting things done. And then you go watch other people and critique their reading or their writing. It's like, man, I'm not getting stuff done either. There are games to make. There are stories to write. There are scripts to write. And I'm not productive. Sable says, running games where doom is inevitable. Step 1, get 10 candles. Step 2, play 10 candles. Yes. Brent says 10 candles is great as long as the players can accept there's no positive outcome. I really want to play 10 candles. It's not exactly Christmas themed. Oh, you know, if we play Hero Quest early with all the boys on New Year's, I wonder if the adults would like to play 10 candles after that. Oh, that could be fun. Why play if we know how the story ends? Genres exist because people like certain combinations of story ingredients and want to enjoy fresh stories that contain them. Genre authors become famous for their ability to take familiar ingredients and make them into something exciting. The same is true of your game. The players come seeking a zombie story. It's a safe bet they want to interact with a collapsed or collapsing society, struggles within and between groups of survivors, lots of zombies, and real danger for the characters, including some or all of them dying along the way. That's the recipe. And as the GM, you're insulting the player's intelligence by using a good recipe for zombie drama and adventure when that's exactly what they by using a good recipe for zombie drama. Oh, you aren't. You aren't insulting the player's intelligence by using a good recipe for zombie drama and adventure when that is exactly what they want. Even knowing the ending in advance, or at least the kind of ending, doesn't spoil the fun. After all, Titanic was the world's highest grossing film for 10 years after its release, despite audiences knowing the ending. That's a good point. Although I think that some people didn't. There's the girl's like, yeah, did you see the ship? Yeah, I mean, did you see the movie? Yeah, the ship sank. It does? Have you seen it? Well, that is what happens. James says, I don't know how superstitious you are, but starting the new year off with doom and inevitable death might be a bummer. That's a good point. That's a good point. Maybe, although, yeah, if you killed yourself in the game right before the new year, extinguishing it, and then had a celebration right when the new year hit, maybe that could be it. Well, thank you. There's other things. Thank you. Thank you. I need writing to get done. And I've got a bunch of stuff that's just not getting out in the format that I need it to. So we're going to try that. We're going to get better at this. BGD says horror RPGs lend themselves to one-shot adventures, and the success of high lethality sessions depend primarily on player investment and the goal. Horror RPG campaigns compound the challenge to the GM. 10 Candles is extremely fluid and varied. In fact, most difficult part of the improv is necessary. And so I've got theater people to play with. Several of the adults are theater people, so I think they would be really good at it. 10 Candles has a great reputation as a game everyone should play and experience once or more, but recognize that your best game will probably be the first one. I can see why that would be true. I can potentially see why that would be true. Heat Shield says, I still play Sudoku every day, even though I know how it ends. Good ending, 81 full squares. Bad ending, eraser breaks through the paper. Hey, we got a lot of people here, by the way. This is something new that YouTube says I can do here. So this says that I can gift memberships this month, this Christmas. So we got a lot of people here. I saw that we just had 17 people. We got 15 right now. People are coming in and out. But it says that I can gift 10 memberships to everybody now. So what I want to do, please do hit the like button. I'm going to click this button, see what happens. Gift 10 memberships. Your gift has been announced in the live chats. You could be the lucky recipient of a membership. This is Merry Christmas to everybody. Charlie, great. Charlie, you just got gifted a membership. Lady of Pain, you got gifted a membership. Reinman, hey, Reinman, YYC, Lord Lawless, Nick Cressman, you're all in. So there you go. Oh, and I need to make some more the emojis. Man, I've been meaning to do that. It's been on the list. That's just been a low priority item because even I know, James, you created or clipped some stuff. I just haven't been able to load them in yet. So there we go. So everybody, you just got gifted one membership here because I think it's fun to see everybody in green over here who's part of the morning. So I've got 5 more memberships I can gift. So another morning, so that worked well. Another morning, I will do that again. So enjoy. And it's fun to see all the little shields and stuff like that. I enjoyed making all the little custom shields and stuff. All right. Let's see. Stories about characters doomed to die appear in many genres, from entirely naturalistic tales of criminals fighting the law and each other to supernatural stories of the whole world crumbling into a metaphysical abyss. Whatever doom may be waiting, the story's not done until all the characters are. The journey, not the destination. Knowing the broad strokes of your game's ending lets the players focus on the journey through the game. What surprises happen and what they can achieve along the way. What expected complications arrive that may even threaten the overall recipe. How can the characters get back on track? There's plenty of room for you to bring creativity to bear in a game about characters who know their fates. I don't have control. So yeah, if you didn't get one, I don't have control over who it gives it to, by the way. So I'm sorry. It just said gift 5 memberships. Like when you gift a membership, in case you don't know how this worked, I didn't. When you gift a membership, you can't gift it to a specific person. The algorithm determines based on engagement with the channel who gets a gift. So if it's this channel or on somebody else's channel and you want to be gifted a membership, whether that's I guess you get memberships to give out. YouTube does at Christmas. YouTube gives those to the creators, but also if somebody else gifts gifts, they also can't gift it specifically to somebody. They gift the membership, and then the algorithm determines who gets it based on their engagement with the channel or the stream or something like that. So if you do want a membership for some other YouTube creator, whoever it is, if you're engaged on the streams, that's algorithm somehow figuring it out. So that's how that goes. So there was nothing personal there. I just hit the button and then YouTube distributed those 5. So yeah, YouTube decides who is worthy there. It's weighted toward participation, just in case I didn't select people there. The YouTube algorithm did. The YouTube God did. BGD says, this challenge is similar to the one in the horror film genre. There are many horror franchises inaugurated with an iconic first entry, but they fizzle in sequels when plot armor eliminates suspense. Great point. Yes. Some things only work once. And, when things work twice, it's worth taking note why. Like, why does Terminator and Terminator 2 work? Alien and Aliens work. Those are... why do they work? So the journey, not the destination. Knowing the broad strokes of your game's ending lets the players focus on their journey through the game. What surprises happen and what can they achieve along the way? What unexpected complications arise that may even threaten the overall recipe? And how can the characters get back on track? There's plenty of room for you to bring creativity to bear in a game about characters with known fates. But why bother? What can doomed characters achieve that's worth playing out? Survive as long as they can. People in general prefer to live, and PCs are no exception. This is their last chance to use all their resources at their disposal and show the world and themselves just how good they are. See Chapter 6, The High Cost of Living, for a campaign framework focused on the trials and costs of survival. Understand their doom. Imitations of doom often arrive with a lot of mystery. Why is the driver they can't even see trying to run them down? Who is the masked person that's trying to chop them up, and why are they doing it? Who unleashed the zombie plague, and can anyone survive it? Achieve goals that will outlast their doom. Can they save their children so something of them will live on? Can they secure this archaeological discovery before the plague gets them? Can they make the one recording-worthy performance of a symphony before the meteor hits? Can they secure this valley with a holy aura so the animals will be safe from the demon armies? Yeah, Heat Shield says, boost people up the list of likelihood to receive a gift based on engagement with the site overall and specific channels. So that is good. It's not that isn't obvious. So it's good to know. So if you aren't getting a gift or something like that and you feel like you should have been, you weren't intentionally slighted. Nobody intentionally slighted you. It was just an algorithmic thing. Andrew says, good to have focus on the journey instead of the end. Early in RPG playing, it can be a lot about getting loot and grinding up levels. Yes. And of course, like where you start and starting with competent heroes or not, that's something we go back and forth with RPGs all the time. Heat Shield says, I got a membership to a channel 2 months ago that I'm not even subscribed to and have no recollection of ever viewing. Huh. Oh, well, that sounds like an error. I wonder what was up with that. Let's see. Making a note of something over here. Game creation, building the doom. In addition to the current and impending issues in your game about doomed characters, formalize the doom itself as the doom issue aspect. So aspects are a mechanical part of fate. You can do this during game creation, or if you plan for your game to last for multiple sessions, after a prelude session featuring the PC's regular lives. That way you can tailor the doom issue to the strengths and weaknesses the players revealed in play. Here are some things to consider when creating the doom issue for your game. Scale and context. Decide the overall scale of the doom. Decide the scale of the doom you like. Are the PCs trapped by a wildfire, trying to rescue as many others as they can before being cut off? Are they part of an international network of scientists, politicians, and others working to preserve something of humanity from an incoming asteroid? So trapped by a wildfire would be a aspect. Incoming asteroid would be an aspect. And see, there's so much that I like about Fate, but it doesn't quite get it. We're gonna have to go back to that idea. More games to create, but I'm going back to choose your own doom. Yes. Since a samurai should always be prepared for death, whether his own or somebody else's. Context is important when considering the doom's impact. The wildfire peril is less overwhelming threat if the characters can communicate rapidly and reliably with regional or national authorities, and the asteroid's threat lessens if there's some kind of space travel that might be scaled up for mass evacuation. Timeline and complications. At some point, the PCs know their doom is coming. Am I going to need more coffee today? Unless everyone in the group is enough into irony to play a few sessions of mundane life, followed by the GM announcing, and now you're all dead. But some dooms come with more warning than others. How much normal life do the characters get to experience, and how quickly does the doom develop once it appears? Doom usually comes gradually. Natural and supernatural disasters leave people free to choose to cooperate or compete, to share information or to hoard it, to plan or to panic. Create group aspects, issues, and settings aspects with the doom issue to focus the game on things the PCs want to use, prevent, or achieve as things go from bad to worse during the game. The tsunami created by a supervolcano's eruption doesn't stop the evil cultists from trying to unleash elder gods, one of our favorite things around here, trying to unleash elder gods until it drowns them. Field scientists who know they're doomed continue to gather data to prepare future scientists. Is the doom already upon the PCs at the start of the game? That's often a good idea. Coming in a session or few, a quicker doom comes, the less room there is for issues that aren't part of it. The longer the game, the more opportunity there is for another note here. Issues that aren't part of it. The longer the game, the more opportunity there is for play to wander into a tangle of complications. You'll use the doom clock on page 89. Oh, we like clocks here as well, to keep track of the PC's progress toward their doom. So decide together how many hours there are until midnight when the game begins and what circumstances will make it tick forwards and backwards. Internal versus external doom. How much does the PC's doom depend on who they are and what they do? Could they avoid their fate if they change themselves, or is an external power beyond their control? Some dooms are entirely internal, a gang of criminals who fall out with each other or drive themselves into a confrontation that destroys them all, obsessed magicians who reject all warnings to give up their current pursuit until the thing they've summoned eats them all, rival chieftains of small tribes who refuse to cooperate in a defensive alliance are slaughtered by invading Romans. Even when there's an external threat, the real doom comes from the PC's choices. If they choose differently, they would escape their fate. Maybe. Other dooms are entirely external. The Yellowstone eruption supervolcano erupts. A plague with no cure sweeps the land. The Earth's poles shift like the crank physics psychics said it would. None of this depends on who the characters are, and their responses may not ultimately matter to anyone else. I know who's trying. The cultists. Or more like who sealed the planet away from their influence. Many dooms combine internal and external elements. The zombie apocalypse isn't the character's fault, but their greed and paranoia are. The wildfires engulfing the mountains around the character's campground aren't their fault, but the hostility that disrupts efforts and fight the fire is. World War II isn't the character's fault, but their xenophobia that makes their espionage attempt easy to discover is. Okay, the doom clock. So this is, how do we handle this? Doom during the game. I remember making the Doom Edition dice for Infinite Black. We were big on Doom. That was so much fun. And it looked great too. That's the Doom Edition dice, the ones I frequently roll over here. Heat Shield says, am I going to need more coffee? I was just sitting here thinking about this. Actually, it's cool in here, and so my coffee has gotten cold again. If you have to ask, just make some. If you don't use it, ice cube trays. Plot one in tomorrow's pot. Repeat for infinity. Is that like instead of like an infinite soup, or the forever lasting soup, like the forever lasting pot of coffee? Actually, I'm gonna go warm up this coffee. All right, we're making a coffee call here. Unusual 2 Yeti break. Hang on, I'm just gonna go pour more coffee.
Oh, it's time for a Yeti hug break. Yeti hug break, Yeti hug break. Everybody go hug yo Yeti and show yo Yeti some love.
If you're a new member, that means you can use the Yeti emoji now. How do you use the custom emojis? The custom emojis are yep, lots of Yetis right there. It's colon and then Yeti. I was gonna say, how many likes do we have? How many likes do we have on the stream right now? I was thinking I should probably be keeping track of things like that. 11 likes. At the moment, we've got 11 likes. We had 18, a max of 18 viewers I saw a few minutes ago. Now we have 11 likes. How many can we beat it? Let's see if we can beat different records. Because I wanted to be keeping track of the number of people who are on the table talk, but I should be doing that for the morning grind too. We had 17 people live concurrent live people for the Fight Club discussion. So that might be a record. All right, let's see about the Doom clock here. The Doom clock is like a stress track, but arranged in a clock to really drive home the metaphor of a countdown to the end. As the characters make things worse or fail to stop antagonists from making it worse, the clock ticks closer to midnight. On the occasion when they manage to make things significantly better, the players push the hands back as the doomsday temporarily recedes. Each tick of the Doom clock moves it 1 hour closer to midnight. The game's overall pace depends on how close to midnight it already is when play begins. Starting at 10 o'clock, so the 2 ticks will initiate the end game, is a good place for a single session game. Starting at 6 o'clock will take a few sessions to tick to midnight, particularly if the players earn a few opportunities to move it back an hour along the way. When the Doom clock runs out, the game begins to wind down. This is the point where it's clear that nothing the characters can do will make any material difference. Their doom is upon them. The characters get a final scene or more, up to a whole final session in longer running games, to take their final actions and explore their final feelings. Do they go out with hope, despair, resignation, useless resolve to go down fighting? This is where you all find out, and then the curtain rings down on the show. For more open-ended play, don't initiate the end game the first time the Doom clock strikes midnight. Instead, significantly worsen the character's situation, manifest a major new threat or issue, have something dreadful happen in a place or person important to the characters, remove or corrupt an important NPC or aspect, and then start counting down again. The Doom clock can only be set back every so often. Oh, Sable says it was. I really like the brand of cosmic horror that you get in the story, The Game of Rat and Dragon. I don't know that one. It's subtle. Cordwainer Smith is an underrated and sadly obscure. Yeah, I don't know that one. But you're going to read it this afternoon? Was that already on the docket? The Doom clock can only be set back every so often. The default is once per scene, no matter how many times that scene various characters do things that justify moving it back. Allow moving it back more often for a more heroic flavor, or less often, down to once per session, or not at all, for play that emphasizes Doom, whose pace is as certain as the outcome. Scheduled events. You can use the Doom clock to build tension by scheduling dramatic complications to occur when the Doom clock strikes specific hours. This works most effectively if the players have a rough idea of what's going to happen. Bruce's group is trying to defend their village from silent zombies. Each time the Doom clock ticks, Bruce tells the group that a foul, obscuring fog blows in from the sea is getting closer, and it will arrive when the Doom clock strikes 11. Making the Doom clock tick. The circumstances that make the Doom clock tick forwards and backwards are vital to the feel of the game. Choosing them calls attention to which changes matters most in the group's struggle to survive. Decide as a group what makes the Doom clock tick. A PC is taken out. A PC chooses to concede. All of the PCs are out of fate points. A significant NPC ally is taken out. Then decide what, if anything, makes the Doom clock tick backward. A character's success with style, once per scene only. That's putting this in the hands of the dice a bit more than I would think. I just got to close. I didn't close this door yet. That's putting the doom the doom clock in the hands of the dice. I was thinking that this was something much more that the PCs had to actively do. And I was, but this is a little bit different from what I was thinking of, like resolving a setting issue or something like that. But all the PCs are out of fate points. That's interesting too. Sable says you'll get sucked into Cordwainer Smith, almost guarantee. He wrote a ton of stories in an extensive science fiction universe that were all subtly connected in one way or another. Very, yes, I am now. Hey Shield says this turned into a Dr. Seuss recital quick with the clock tick and talks and click. Let's see. So, or come up with your own circumstances for each. For a shorter or more heavily planned game, it works very well if you tie ticks of the Doom clock to specific in-game events. For example, tick the Doom clock backwards if the PCs rescue Mark from the mine shaft. If they leave him to die, tick forwards. The only hard rule is that it must be much harder to make the clock tick backwards than forwards, unless you want the potential for the Doom to be indefinitely delayed. The fifth outcome, failure with style. Failure is an important ingredient of doomed horror, and adding this outcome emphasizes the role of heroic self-sacrifice and the rewards of difficult choices. When you really want to ramp up the tone of desperate struggle, you can even remove success with style as an option and add this in its place. So the 4 outcomes are weighed forward toward failure with or without some mitigation. If a character rolls at least 2 shifts less than their opposition, they fail with style. They may also choose to fail with style on any failure. Whether a character fails with style, their opponent succeeds. Whenever a character fails with style, their opponent succeeds with styles. 2 shifts just means difference in point values, like differences in rolls. So that's Fate has arcane language. That's one of the things that makes it harder, I think, Fate harder to get into, is because you really have to understand the style of the writing or the vocabulary, what the vocabulary of Fate is. So if you score a 2 shift hit, that just means that you rolled a 4 and or you rolled a 6 and your opponent rolled a 4. So the difference of that is 2 shifts. That's the way they use the language. If the character fails with style, they have no option for success at a cost. Failure is guaranteed. Narrate the character's failure for the intended task, and also the stroke of luck, the unexpected reward on the margins for heroic effort, or whatever else it is that gives them benefit. Depending on the tone of your game, this can be anything from sensible but dramatic to ludicrously over-the-top implausible. Enrich your game in ways that suit what you're all trying to do. At the beginning of the next scene, the player who failed with style gains a special token that lets them do one of the following: gain a free invoke on an aspect of their choice, remove a single free invoke of their choice, step the Doom clock back 1 hour. This can only happen once per session, no matter how many players fail with style. If they do that with this special token, I guess you would remove a single free invoke of your choice if it's going to be used against you or your team. The benefit gained from the token must follow logically from the narration of the failure. Marissa's character, Kelly, is trying to stay hidden from the threat that's stalking the group. She fails her stealth roll with style and narrates how the monster drags her out from hiding place by the ankle, gloating about how powerful and perceptive it is. Later, Marissa uses her failure with style token to gain a free invoke on the threat's egotistical warlock aspect. A player can only hold 1 failure with style token. If they already have a failure with style token at the start of a new scene and are supposed to earn another, they can instead pass it to another character as long as they can narrate how this occurs. Oh, the Book of Scars. What is this? The Book of Scars. In a game of doomed horrors, injuries, mental and physical, leave permanent scars. Every PC gains an additional aspect, the Book of Scars. Whenever the PC recovers from a moderate, severe, or extreme consequence, or a sticky or lasting condition, their player writes down a suitable scar on the sheet that's counted as a subpart of the Book of Scars. So if you recover, whenever you recover from a moderate, severe, or extreme consequence, or a sticky or lasting condition, you write down a scar. Rufio has his eye. Obviously, Fate is a more narrative kind of game here. Rufio has his eye gouged out by the evil cultist and wrote down gaping socket next to his Book of Scars aspect. Each PC can have 5 scars in the Book of Scars. Once the book is full, the characters can't ever clear out their moderate, severe, or extreme consequence slots, or recover from sticky or lasting conditions. You can't. So this, you're on your way out. And that after that, the PC can have 5 scars in the Book of Scars. Once the book is full, you can't ever recover from moderate, severe, or extreme consequences. Medical treatment renames the consequence as normal. Broken leg becomes splinted leg, but the consequence will never fully recover. Now that you're lost, death is always on the table if a PC is taken out in a game of doomed horror, because you don't have to die in a Fate game just because you're taken out. That's something that is negotiated at the table. However, unless you're playing with a GM and a single player, it's not likely that all PCs will be taken out in the same scene, at least until the doom clock ticks its last. Some are likely to survive quite a bit longer than others. Should players pay a penalty for their character's inability to survive? Of course not. They can continue to play with their character as a ghost with the rules on page 19, or they can turn against their fellow players and work to hasten their downfall. Maybe as some kind of undead or something. James says, yes. James says, the cultists aren't evil. They just want to worship their eldritch gods in a world that doesn't understand. If a player's ghost is taken out, or they'd rather turn to the dark side straight away, they can say goodbye to their character and help you bring doom to the survivors by playing part of that opposition. If there's a supporting NPC handy, you can ask them to take over playing it with a suitable private briefings about what they should know or to do with their doom ward part. Alternatively, you can work together applying the principles of the Fate fractal to make an NPC out of some part of the doom. The bad weather, a mob of strangers, all subject to the same hateful frenzy, a band of zombies roaming together. If the threat is defeated, that part of the doom is lessened, and the survivors earn a step back on their doom clock. Then the players can pick up and play another portion of the doom. Survivors are limited, but there's plenty of doom for everyone. There's plenty of doom for everyone. I guess that's a great lesson. All right, so what else do we want to look at here as we're going down here? Is something calling to you here? Are you hearing the call from the abyss? That was, we are all going to die. The high cost of living. What does that even mean? The framework provided in this chapter is to help you run games where the PCs face danger from an overwhelming threat and their continued survival as a result of caution, preparation, resource management, and cleverness, rather than repeated applications of physical violence. Huh. Well, I might be interested in that kind of thing, especially the resource management. I'm big on resource management kinds of issues. Doom for everyone. You get a doom, and you get a doom, and you get a doom. We were doing like the Doom Edition dice for Infinite Black. You're like, oh man, the Doom Edition dice. I got to get that. I love Doom. Doom's one of my favorite things. I love Doom. All right. So, okay, actually, so we might want to check out the high cost of living. So maybe that tomorrow. And I still want to check out that last one too. So we will see. Some more days. I'll see if I can get the cover up, the thumbnail up. For some reason, Adobe Illustrator wasn't working this morning. Because we need a good cover for Fate so that people know what it is. But hey, that's not the most important thing. So let's see. We got 13. I'm going to try to remember to check that. So 13 likes today. Can we get any more before we go? If you're here, please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button, the notification, or whatever. I'm feeling really good this morning. There's a lot to do. There's a lot to do. And I was really feeling it over the past few days. I'm going to throw everything off the desk here. and try to get some work done here at the computer. I hope that everybody has a wonderful day. Oh, we got 14. We got 14 likes. Thank you, everybody. So have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful day. Go forth, be creative, be constructive. But I will see you tonight at 7 o'clock. 7 o'clock p.m. Bring your questions for Ian. And we will talk to Ian Runkle tonight. It's going to be a lot of fun. Later, everybody. See you tonight.